I think most people have an expectation that they are going to be happy for a good part of their life. I think most people like to be happy for a good part of their life. And I don't think I'm any different.
I feel I do deserve to be happy. I think I've had a lot of heartache in my life, some of it my own fault and some of it not. I appreciate that we do make mistakes, but I think I need a break, and so does the family.
I want to be able to communicate with people just about ordinary things, do things in my life that I've stopped doing for 6 years. I want to be a part of the general public. I just want to be a part of somebody else again, part of everyday people. I'm not feeling shut away and isolated.
These people all want to be happy. None of them are clinically depressed, but they are all generally low in spirits. Is this their natural personality, or could they become more joyful? At the beginning of the year, they took up QED's challenge to see if they could change their misery into merriment. First stop, one of psychologist Robert Holden's laughter workshops in Oxford.
Wherever you like. In a way, I suppose I've made a study in my life of what I call sort of like ozone-friendly, non-chemical medicines that you can almost overdose on and feel happier. Okay, so, and those are things like laughter, happiness, relaxation.
Scientists have only recently started taking happiness seriously. Dawn, Keith and Caroline volunteered for QED's unique 2-month course, devised from the theories of the world's leading experts in this field.
So the first thing I'd like you to do, please, is for you to all stand up. And I'd like you to introduce yourself one by one to everybody in the room. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to share with them a bit of good news that you've had in the last week.
That's good news. But is she quite healthy herself?
Yeah, she's very healthy. She does
so
need help.
that's good news.
Last weekend, a friend of mine got married, and I've got this old mod too, Jack.
To assess scientifically whether the course is working, the moods of the 3 volunteers will be closely monitored. Each of them at this stage reports on being well below par on the happiness scale.
We watched a movie alone last night without the children. Oh, that is good. That's right, really, I'm running out of ideas.
Dawn Harrison works in Devon as a private detective. She has a loving husband and 3 healthy children. Yet when she started the course, her feel-good factor was right down at -20. Originally from Tyneside, she and her husband Nigel recently moved the family south in search of happiness.
I thought if I moved a long way, I'd be happier, because I would leave it all behind, but I didn't, and I just brought the whole lot with me, and I'm still the same person. I find that I tend to be very self-conscious about the way I look, and about whether I say the right thing, and whether people are laughing at me and thinking, oh, she's really silly, so I allow myself to become very miserable about things like that.
She asked me if she looks good, and I say, yes, you look great, and she said, well, you're obviously going to tell me that. And I say, no, honestly, you do. But it takes some convincing.
When people first meet me, they always think I'm really happy and easygoing, because I always try to make everyone laugh, and I always try to make other people happy. I don't quite know why. Maybe it's to hide the fact that I'm quite so miserable.
Take up a course in happiness. Take up a course to clear out your mind.
You go and take a seat and face each other.
You will show yourself how to smile.
B's, what I'd like you to do is to talk to A's, please, for 5 full minutes about everything you enjoy about being alive. 5 minutes. Good luck.
I enjoy getting out of the house. I enjoy going in the car and like going to see. I enjoy. I'm running out of ideas now. That wasn't even 45 seconds.
And basically, it's a book about 2 serial killers. It's called.
Do you enjoy reading that?
The second volunteer is Keith Allen. Last year, Keith had a well-paid job in sales, a girlfriend he'd been with for over a year, and a Mark II Daimler. But he still wasn't happy. In search of something more, he now has only the Daimler.
Defining happiness for me would be the answer to why I've seemingly chucked in one of the best jobs I've ever had and split up with a girlfriend I was very happy with. So I really don't know why or what could achieve that happiness. I seemingly did have everything, or as I thought. But there's obviously a slight difference between contentment and happiness. And the happiness is probably a bit more than just going out and having a laugh. But where that line starts and ends and where the divide is between the two of them, I honestly don't know. Maybe I've got too many expectations and I should really just be happy with my lot, but I'm not, so I'll hope to be able to answer that question some later time.
Are you getting enough happiness? Are you getting enough of what makes you happy? Are you getting enough happiness?
So, would you take a moment to put one hand on the top of your chest and one down on your stomach? And let every breath be easy, effortless and natural. And just play with the idea that you could be happy for no reason at all. In the last 10 years, we have really started to look at, in particular, the relationship between laughter, happiness, and a sense of joy, and the impact that that has on the body. What we've found is that when people are happy, muscle tension relaxes in specific parts of the body. Also, when people are happy, their nervous system relaxes. The part of the nervous system that goes on like a bright neon light when we're stressed actually relaxes more when we're happy. Ladies and gentlemen, what you were doing there was called transcendental chuckling. It's a new form of meditation.
Caroline Ponting from Harrogate is the third volunteer. Her mother suffered a stroke that left her all but bedridden. Rather than put her into a nursing home, Caroline gave up her job and invited her mother to live with her. After 6 years as a full-time carer, the strain is beginning to show.
I do everything for her. I clothe her in the morning, I bathe her, I wash her hair, and give her 3 meals a day, roughly, put her to bed. She doesn't give me any sense of worth or, thank you very much, dear, you've been wonderful, you know, I'm so pleased that, you know, I'm living here with you. It just, she makes me feel very... It's duty. She's been with me out of duties, not out of affection. That's an awful thing to say, I know.
There we are.
Thank you.
I'll just pop your tea there,
Yes, thanks ever so much.
just in case it falls off.
I don't feel love for her. I do obviously feel something for her. She's my mother.
I'll come and pick it up after.
But I don't feel affection towards her. I find it very difficult to give her a cuddle. In fact, I've never given her a cuddle. I can't do it. She's never, as children, we never had cuddles.
Before her mother came to live with her, Caroline worked meeting and greeting the customers at a local seafood restaurant.
My life was full of sparkle. It was like a glitter ball on the dance floor, twirling round. Lots of sparkle coming out of it, lots of go, and you thought, oh, I feel good. This is a place where this is where it all happens. And then when my mother came to live with me, that glitter ball that was up there became tarnished and more tarnished with no glitter coming out of it. It stood still. And that's how I feel that I am now. It's tarnished.
Let's just run these through. One of my fears about happiness, or one of my apprehensions about happiness is what?
Won't last, yeah.
It won't last. Yep.
It's too self-indulgent.
Yes, that's right, yep. Too self-indulgent. What we're doing here is too self-indulgent. Yep. Anything else?
It won't be enough.
It won't be enough.
Should I be so happy?
So, okay, if there's something that I really wanted you to remember from this day, it's ultimately this, that happiness is not something you have to deserve